Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 78. And this one's interesting because the roots are in New York, but the now roots are Sydney, Australia, and it's Mexican food. And that's where I'm a little confused, but I have my friend here to talk all about it. Stephen Marks, CEO of this new company that just coming to Chicago and Crystal Lake. How you doing, sir?
Beautiful. Thanks for having me today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing? There's that New York in you, but you
Yeah.
said you spent the better part of 20 years in Australia, right?
Yeah, so I moved there over 20 years ago, actually to build a hotel. Because I always thought, I mean, and if anybody's ever been down to Australia, one of the most famous beaches in the world is called Bondi Beach.
Mhm.
So my mother's from Brooklyn, my dad was from Miami Beach, so I just thought that Bondi Beach would be like the next South Beach for Asia. So I went down there to build a hotel, and one thing growing up in the States and growing up where I grew up in New York, and I was so fortunate to have the most amazing Mexican food. And I had so many Latino friends and everything. And you got to Australia, the Mexican food was horrible. So
Right.
I didn't think when I moved to Australia that we'd start a Mexican chain. But so like any entrepreneur, you always think you can do something better. And since the Mexican food wasn't really good, we said, the problem is we got to bring Mexicans to Australia, which is pretty far from Mexico. So we brought in, a super talented chef, surrounded ourselves with the Latin community there, and we opened up our first store, close to 17 years ago. And it's just been a relentless pursuit of educating Australians on Mexican food, and it's the fastest growing food business in Australia, in Australasia actually, which is
Right.
fantastic.
And it's the name of the restaurant, Guzman y Gomez. Is that
Guzman y
right?
Gomez, yeah, it's named in
Guzmani,
honor
I'm
of
sorry.
so yeah,
Oh, Guzmani,
Guzman
got
y Gomez. Well, or the Aussies, everybody just calls it GYG.
it. And you said that was after your friends growing up in New York?
Yeah, so I was like a grew up Guzman, Gomez, Hernandez, Rodriguez, and I just put all the names on a board. And one thing in Australia, if you ever go there, they like to shorten everything. And you know what I mean? And I just kept thinking people are gonna love GYG and love GYG. So that's what everybody calls it.
Ah, very cool. And you say you've been in Australia, different markets down that way, but you're coming to Chicago and stateside in general, opening up in Crystal Lake as well, yeah?
Yeah, this is our third restaurant. So we opened up in Naperville right before the pandemic hit, and we got these beautiful restaurants, double lane drive-through. So we have Naperville, Schaumburg, Crystal Lake. Then we got Buffalo Grove to open in a couple months, and then we're going to start doing development in Arlington Heights, Des Plaines, and we're about to sign up another, hopefully 8 restaurants in the next year.
Wow. So the difference between, other Mexican chains and yours, why should people take a left instead of a right when they're going to a Mexican joint to pick yours?
Well, obviously, it all comes down to food, and I think that's when we start in Australia. When everybody says, "Oh, here's a Mexican concept started in Australia," there's nothing Australian about it. We just happen to start it there, so
Right.
there's no crocodile tacos or anything like that. And I think it comes down to, man, we're foodies, so the food we serve here is absolutely delicious. And I think when we think of Mexican food, obviously besides all the flavors and the beautiful tortillas and marinades, and we make the most beautiful steak and obviously grilled chicken. I mean, food is number one for GYG. But I think the main point of difference, when as we started to open up in the US, people are like, there's already Mexican food there, but it's not done the way GYG does it, right? So we believe in the highest quality, but the way our restaurants are set up and our kitchens are set up, besides
Mhm.
doing beautiful burritos and burrito bowls, I mean, we sell fries and nacho fries and the most beautiful nachos and ice creams and everything, is that the game changer for GYG in Australia, we opened up a drive-through about 8 years ago, and our kitchens are built for huge volume. So what we realized that in the US, there's no Mexican done the way G would through a drive-through. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. And because of the volumes that our restaurants have, right? And we do regular size portion, mini size portions, is that where you usually go to a Mexican place and they're linear setup and they're a little bit slow. Nobody's been able to put together the quality and the speed and value that GYG has. And the restaurants are booming in Naperville and Schaumburg, and I think it comes down to obviously food and people. Man, when you walk into our restaurant, people are like, "Oh, is this fast casual?" Because it looks fast casual. But the point for GYG is basically to disrupt the biggest industry, and that's fast food. We
Mhm.
believe that the masses should be served food, like real food, no
Yeah.
preservatives, no additives, everything made fresh. And it's a real point of difference. And I think when you feel the energy of GYG when you come into the restaurants, man, it's just contagious, and people are loving it, which is something that we're very proud of.
Yeah, I think people are definitely in the market for better food than what's out there now for fast food, especially Mexican fast food. Because when
Yeah.
you eat it, it doesn't taste, it's got the distinctive taste of being fast food, Mexican food, not authentic. So I think that's a big win for you guys. And I look forward to trying it and getting up to Crystal Lake, or perhaps if you open one down here too, I'll be frequenting that one.
Tom, where are you?
I'm in the city, in the
Yeah, we're
actual city
coming.
proper.
I was looking at a bunch of sites yesterday down there.
Perfect. Well, you know what? One thing I can tell you of Chicago loves Mexican food. We love our Mexican food. I'm half
And the ones
Mexican,
that,
so
the ones that,
from it.
oh, beautiful. And the ones that are coming to Guzman y Gomez, man, they're loving it, which is absolutely fantastic for us.
And you're opening up tomorrow, big grand opening for May 18th in Crystal Lake for GYG, right?
Beautiful. And all our opening days, we do $5, so $5 burritos, $5 bowls. We got mariachi. We've got some of our team in from Australia, and the place is just going to be pumping. So
Awesome.
Please tell your listeners to come by and try us out.
All right. Well, you heard it from the man himself, Stephen Marks. Thank you so much for taking time to chat with me. Best of luck in your endeavors. And now I got a guy in Australia that I can hit up when I make my way down. I almost got there last year. I was in Fiji, so I got close.
Oh, how beautiful is Fiji?
It's like another world, man. That place is outstanding.
You get to Australia, drop me a line, man. I'll show you around.
All right, sounds great. Take care and have a good luck tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. Appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem. See you.